It's not the file. Sorry?
ปิด NN ไปก่อนปิด NN
Okay. Okay. Clicker.
ลองปะ
ลองดิ
ไม่รู้ไม่สี่ใบเลย
ไม่เวิร์กก่อน
เปิดได้
Zhou Daifuk is a leading jewelry manufacturer and retailer with a long and prosperous history. However, nowadays it's faced with an extremely dynamic market, presented both with challenges and opportunities for the company. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our team is Team TST4. My name is Pacharapon, and here are my team members, Mr. Akarwin, Ms. Panisra, and Ms. Nishamon. Our team is here to present to you a 5-year strategic plan for CTF to achieve a sustainable growth. Our strategic plan has 2 main objectives and 3 strategies. For the objectives of increasing distribution channel in China, the first strategy is through online channel marketing, which we aim to increase revenue contribution in the online sales market through our 3-stage online marketing campaigns. This will result in a online sales of 10% of the total sales contribution by the end of the 5th year. The second strategy is to physical store expansion in Tier 3 and lower tier cities in mainland China. This will result in 400 new stores in the Tier 3 and lower tier cities in China. And lastly, for the objective of increased customer spending, we plan to do this with our third strategy of capturing additional needs of gold jewelry. By doing this, we'll be launching a new gold product line to capture the additional needs and purposes of gold for saving. This will result in an increase in customer spending for our company. As a result, we believe that with our 5-year strategic roadmap, the company is able to achieve a revenue improvement CAGR from the base of 27% to 35% within the 5 years time frame. Now, allow Mr. Akarwin to walk you through our first analysis and recommendation.
Thank you, Pacharapon. So first of all, we'd like to point out that we see tremendous market potential in mainland China, and that's because China has a relatively robust economic growth rate of 7% compared to its peers, and secondly, it has over 50% urbanization rate, which results in consumerism and higher demand for our product. And thirdly, we see that there's the rise of a middle-income population, and that means that consumers have increased buying power. So to capture this tremendous market opportunity, we recommend the company to use a multi-channel distribution strategy that integrates both its online channels and physical stores. So starting with its online channels, we see that e-commerce in China is actually growing at a very rapid rate. And that's because China has an increasing penetration rate of internet users based on a very high population rate. And also 44% of people online buy products through e-commerce channels. And that's driving the growth in e-commerce market. As you can see from the graph right here, China is currently ranked the 2nd largest e-commerce market in the world and is also growing at a rapid rate as well. So what we recommend is for the company to extend its online distribution channels with the objective to increase revenue contribution from this channel to be 10% by 2018. And the most important target customer here should be millennials aged 18 to 25 with a disposable income of 1,000 to 3,000 RMB per month and that are also tech savvy. And the products that we want to promote through our online channels are, first of all, the youth line with a lower price and great fit with our target customers. And secondly, precious metal jewelry, such as those made of gold and also silver, because they have a very transparent pricing model that does not require customers to go into our stores and actually select the products by themselves. So we propose a 3-stage integrated online marketing campaign that starts with first, creating awareness for our online presence in mainland China, and secondly, driving customer traffic through our online channels, 3 channels, for them to make purchases, And thirdly, to encourage repeat purchases and repeat visits to our online stores. Now, we will be leveraging on the advantages of online marketing in that, first of all, we can carefully select our target audience online, and secondly, we can measure the effectiveness of this campaign through measures such as conversion rates and also gain customer data. This will result in minimizing costs and maximizing the effectiveness of our online marketing campaign. So to build awareness, we recommend the company to use key influencers, key opinion leaders in order to be the main influence to drive customers to buy our products. And this is because based on a McKinsey survey last year, 66% of Chinese people that buy products online buy them according to recommendations. So for social media, we recommend the company to pay famous celebrities to actually use their products and take pictures of them and put them on their personal social media accounts.
Excuse me, I'm sorry that I think most of our competitors are doing similar things. So how would you advise us to do something new to distinguish ourselves from the others?
From what we understand, that the competitors are actually using formal celebrities to be their brand ambassadors, but we're recommending more of a personal approach. So instead of just professional photo shoots, we actually want the celebrities to take pictures of themselves in a candid manner and post them on their personal accounts. Because when customers see these photos, they will be more influenced and want to buy the same products as the celebrities use. So that's going to make us unique. Right. So we want to be targeting very famous celebrities in China, such as Fang Bingbing or Li Bingbing, and we want to use very popular Weibo platforms, such as Tencent Weibo. And as for blogs and article reviews, we want to use the same concept, but we want to target popular bloggers to write about our products instead. And we've targeted fashion blogs because fashion blogs are actually a really popular channel that our target customers visit almost every day. And here are the three main fashion blogs that we want to target. They are Style and Notes, Style Voyager, and Super Wow OMG, which are really popular in China.
Excuse me? I'd like to come back to the earlier comments that you made on targeting youth. You mentioned about the monthly salary is between 1,000 to 3,000 per month.
Yes.
And you also mentioned that you like to promote some of the lower price products to them. Which price range you're talking about then?
When we're talking about the youth range, that refers to products that are priced under 2,000 Hong Kong dollars. As for the mass luxury segment, that's between 2,000 to 100,000 Hong Kong dollars.
So for those youth who's earning 1,000 to 3,000 per month, you'll be trying to entice them to buy products between $2,000. Would it be a little bit unreachable?
Actually, for the youth segment, we aim to target the youth line, which is under 2,000 Hong Kong dollars. But we do recognize that based on the extensiveness of the online channel, there will be other types of customers coming in to buy products as well. So that's why we want to offer the products that are priced 2,000 to 100,000 Hong Kong dollars. So continuing.
Excuse me. Why are you targeting the lowest income, lowest margin type of customers?
We see that these types of customers are actually the main internet users in China because they're more familiar with e-commerce. So we see that they have the highest potential in order to convert from just seeing our products online and actually buying them. So we're actually opening our online channel to all customer segments, but we think that this segment would be the easiest to convert as a starting point.
Sorry, what is the current revenue contribution from online channels, do you know?
Currently, it's less than 5% of the total sales.
So you're saying that you want to grow to 10% by 2018?
2018, yes. That will be derived from the increase in traffic from our marketing campaigns. Also, the conversion rates of our strategies that he will be presented later on the presentations. How are we going to do that?
Okay, so continuing on, we'd like the company to maintain its existing 3 online channels of the e-commerce websites, CTF's own online store, and also mobile applications, but because we want to maximize the reach of its online channels to cover both internet access from computers and also mobile phones, which are very booming in China as well. But we recommend the need to extend its support systems to cover both logistics and customer support in terms of product guarantees and also after-sales service. And most importantly, the company company needs to maintain the customer experience to be consistent among all distribution channels online as well.
Excuse me, when you say that ensure consistency of retail experience between all channels, what does that mean?
So first of all, we must understand that for the luxury jewel retail sector, customer experience is very, very important. So first of all, we like to look back at what the customer experience in Chow Tai Fook's physical stores are, and then we would like to recreate that through our online channels. So we see that it's relatively easy for us to reconduct that through our existing online store because we make it basically, and also the same for mobile applications. But for e-commerce websites, we think that we have to use a store-in-store approach to recreate that experience as well, in which the company is already doing. Okay. So to encourage repeat purchases, we think that the first thing that the company should do is increase the attractiveness of its website through creating lifestyle content with regular updates. So basically, customers would want to come back to the website to see new content every day. So we plan to offer content such as social events and news, fashion tips and horoscopes, including our products into those articles for people to come back and watch, to read them almost every day. In addition to that, we also recommend the company to do a mailing list to attract repeat purchases. And this would be done through creating a customized content based on the information what the customer previously bought. So we will be offering tailor-made new product collection news and also discounts and product recommendations to these customers. And we think that this is a very valuable tool because based on our research, customized mailing lists can increase the conversion rate by up to 10%. So when people go through our online conversion funnel and turn from viewers of our online content into our actual buyers, what we definitely get is sales. But in addition to that, we also see that we gain a very valuable asset, which is customer data. And we see the potential to use this customer data to provide insights for further measuring market attractiveness when we choose to grow in the future. And that will be covered next by Ms. Panisara.
Thank you. Now, moving on to the physical store expansion in mainland China. The first question that needs to be asked is where in China should CTF further expand their physical store? And we see that the largest growth potential in jewelry market lies in the third tiers and lower, with macroeconomic indicators through robust GDP growth, rapid increase in urbanization, and the rising disposable income. So this implies that they should further penetrate in tier 3 and lower. Now, the next question is where in this tier should the store be located and what is the right strategy for the company? Ladies and gentlemen, we suggest the company to use our online database to better understand the customer and get the insight of the market. For the sale value, we believe that this can help us indicate the demand of the market. Our team has analyzed that the company should go into the market with the online sales volume more than 700,000 Hong Kong dollars, which comes from the break-even point, which break-even analysis plus the 10% growth profit margin of the company. Also, for age, gender, and purchasing power data that we got from our online store, we can use that to better understand our target group. For example, if we see that this certain market contains mostly the youth, we can better tailor the store that are more trendy or fashionable towards that area. For the
so can I understand if you're going to be driving, kids making what $1,000 to $3,000 renminbi a month, then is it going to be one format for the store? Are there going to be different brands? How are you going to deal with having shoppers coming at the very low end and then sitting right next to our high-end shoppers?
You're talking about the online store.
No, I'm talking on the brick and mortar stores. In the physical stores, you're going to have younger, lower-end consumers coming in right next to higher-end consumers. How is that going to work?
For our physical store, we actually going to focus on all range of the customer, including the high end and the low end. But what we are doing here is we want to use our online database after we expand our online channel to better understand the customer group in those areas.
So may I just add on to that? Currently, the company already has different product ranges that suit different customer segments. So what we're trying to do is, if the youth segment is really popular in those tier 3 and 4 cities, we want to sort of emphasize the sales of those types of product ranges. So maybe we carry more of those ranges and promote those products more heavily through in-store promotion events and maybe marketing details.
All right, moving on. For the individual product sales volume data, we can use that to see the product range fit for that for the market, and also this we can use to see the pattern of the product that sells online, which where the customer clicks the product subsequently and use that to translate into the physical store by training our sales personnel to better suggest the product to our customer, which will help us increase the sales potential. Now, the business model that we suggest the company to go with is the wholly owned store model. Now, the rationale behind this is that this is benefits us more in the long term. We can capture 100% of the profit in this high-growing market, and also we see that the companies now have sufficient local knowledge and also capability in terms of resource to do so. For the location, we will first penetrate into the department stores and the shopping malls where there are high traffic customers with more variation. And our team also recognized that one of the key value in this market is trust. So what we can do by opening up our wholly owned store is by leveraging on our strong brand equity and the professional staff training to help drive the customer to our store. For the product focus, we will focus on the affordable jewelry for special occasion and traditional design, which will be focusing on the mass, luxury, and young line. However, we will also provide other types of product.
May I ask a question for this? Training is important, to improve. Training is important, to improve the sales techniques and knowledge. Can you elaborate more about what kind of training would be more effective today, especially when our staff are very young, born 1990? What kind of training style would be more suitable? Or can you elaborate about this?
From our research, we see that one of the key factors that make the customer buy our product is the craftsmanship, and we believe that if the sales personnel are educated, are able to give the right information, know the history of the company, they can actually drive the sales and be able to connect it to the customer. All right, next, Ms. Nishamon will present to you our third strategy.
Thank you, Panisara.
I have one question. I'm a little bit concerned about going into wholly owned stores in these tier 4 cities. I mean, do we have enough local knowledge to really do that? My understanding is the reason we're doing franchising is to get the sort of local knowledge that we don't have.
We believe that from now, after we recognize that we already penetrate in some area in this location, and also after we get more information from our online channel using our online database as the solid step to know about our customer, we believe that we can go.
But it's not just about the customer. It's about who do we have to talk to in order to get the approval ratings? Where is the best location? Who are the real power people in this area?
Yes, what we're doing here is that we see that wholly owned store is will benefit us more in the long run, and the key information that we'll get from our first strategy is the estimate market size and the customer preference. However, we see that there's some other information that we still need, but we still believe that the company can do it.
Is there any particular tier 3 cities that you think that we should expand?
Well, actually, we think that we should expand first with our existing cities in which we already have a presence and use our online stores and also our physical stores as a means to feel the market, whether or not those cities have additional demand or not. But besides from that, we also think that we can enter new cities in which we don't have presence already as well. And from what we understand, there are over 60 cities in the tier 3 and lower tiers. So that's a lot of market potential.
Okay, on that page, you are recommending us to focus on mass luxury and young line, and to offer traditional design with mass luxury pricing. Is that a bit conflicting on 2 points? One is the pricing for the young line. So I think most of the customers will be like fresh graduates or young office lady. They are earning, say, 3,000 or 4,000 RMB per month. So is that too expensive for them to buy products at the range of 2,000 to 100,000? That's the first question. The other question is to offer traditional design for the young line. Is that okay just for us to offer traditional design to young ladies or young gentlemen?
We see that this market, even though there's a high group of young customer, but there's still other group of customer that still come to our store, and from our research we know that they prefer the traditional line. So we will be focusing on two main products, which will be the young line for the youth and the mass luxury that we will provide a traditional design for the higher age group.
Okay, let's move on to a third strategy. Let's look at another dimension of sales management and how to increase sales through stores. There are two methods. First is to increase same-store sales growth, and second is to increase number of point of sales. However, the first recommendation has already increased the number of point of sales, so we're going to focus on same-store sales growth. As you can see here, of all the products offerings that company is offering, gold is contributing the highest. And for the gold itself, we can see another aspect, which is saving, that haven't been yet captured. So our recommendation objective is to capture the saving aspect of this gold and offer it as a product from the company to the customers. We're going to adapt the concept of savings on jewelry, which is saving bit by bit for something bigger in the future. What exactly we're going to do is to launch a product line that caters to the different purpose of savings that will eventually increase the repeat purchase for each customers as well. We have further also identified the purpose of savings and categorized them into 3 categories. First is a parent who want to build a financial platform for their child. So we want to offer them simple but meaningful gold coins, which they can have symbols such as lotus, which has a meaning of ultimate purity. And these coins will be offered and launched in a set of 12 per year, and customer can choose to buy it one by one at a time. And after they have collected 24 coins, we'll be sending them clear crystal mix piggy bank to them and put these gold coins into the piggy bank and pass on to the children. After it's passed on, the children is not only encouraged to continue saving, but also they'll be embedded with our brand and grow with our brand as well. The second group is the professionals who's looking to save for their future, but also want to prove themselves to the society. So the concept of our products is going to be simple yet classic wearable savings. The rationale behind the wearable part is because we see that this group of people want to prove themselves to society. So the wearable part will be enable them to show these savings to the other people.
Can I go back to the savings for the children, et cetera? I guess if you're going to be focusing on more of a gold as a savings storage,
yes,
I would expect this to be much lower margin business. What is that going to do to our financials overall when analysts look at our?
Since our product is going to be simple design, so the gold price is going to be based on the market price of the gold and not the design that will be higher offer higher margin products.
I guess my question is, I recognize that, and that's why I'd say, isn't it going to collapse our margins then? If you're going to sell 1,000 renminbi of gold, you're going to earn a few cents off of it.
No, because the other aspect of this product line is to try to convince them to repeat the purchase. So to to the aspect of margin will be contributed by the repeating purchase with more times of purchasing by the customers. Yes. Move on to the how the products of this segment will be. The product will be modular jewelry so that the customers can buy bits by bits and putting them together and wear it as a complete set to events. And upon the completion of the collection, we'll be sending customized box that we carve with their initials and also congratulatory message to recognize their achievement. And the third group is a couple that want to save for the sake of building their family in the future. So we want to offer them House of Jigsaws, which based on the ideas that they'll be saving bits by bits and building a meaningful house together. And it'll be offered in various of sizes. However, by offering this product line, we have to offer them a different pricing models. First is we'll be offering stable pricing, which the price will be constant throughout the year. So the weight will be kept constant normally, but the price will fluctuate according to the market gold fluctuation. However, we want to switch this around and hold the price relatively constant and vary the weight according to change of the price in the market. This will benefit them by giving them ease in planning on savings on the gold. And the second pricing strategy is range of price point, that we want to capture all level of income. So there will be products that range from 1,000 Hong Kong dollars to 2,000 Hong Kong dollars. Next, Ms. Pacharapon will present to you the timeline implementation.
Before you move on, so I mean, if you're talking about having people buy a ounce of gold or what have you over a 1, 2, 3 year period in stable pricing, you'd be hedging that through the capital markets, I expect. How would you deal with the volatility of gold price, which is anywhere from the table knows $1,700 to $1,100?
We understand that it's risky, but investment in gold is relatively low and it can be hedged against inflation. And also, aside from the value itself, we have noticed that gold is embedded in Chinese culture, so they can see, rather than just the value of the money, they can have the gold has emotional side to the Chinese market as well.
Thank you, Ms. Nishimon. Now allow me to walk you through the timeline implementations of our 3 recommendations. The online marketing strategy will be implemented right away at the end of the year, followed by the new store expansion in the Tier 3 and 4 cities in the year 2014 and onwards. And lastly, to increase customer spending, our saving theme new collection will be launched in the year 2015 onwards. Now, let's take a look at the financial impacts of our recommendations to Chow Tai Fook. So we believe that after our recommendations are successfully implemented, the CTF revenue will grow at a compounded annual growth rate from base case of 27% to 35%. This is an increasing in revenue from 57 billion Hong Kong dollar to approximately 240 billion Hong Kong dollars. And it has 3 key revenue drivers, which are first, the increase in online sales volume, second, the increase in the new store sales in the 3rd and lower tier cities, and lastly, the increase in spending through our saving collection launch. In addition to that, the net income forecast is also expected to grow from base case of 29% to 38%. This is due to the lower operating costs of our online channel, as well as the lower operating costs in the Tier 3 and 4 cities due to the lower rental costs mainly. Now, revenues comes hand in hand with cost, and we expected the total incremental cost to be at 4 billion Hong Kong dollars, and all of this will be funded by internally generated fund with a short-term debt and the net present value of 11 billion Hong Kong dollar and the payback period of only 1.4 years. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with our 5-year strategic roadmap to increase online channels distribution, as well as physical store expansion and capturing additional needs of gold jewelry, we believe that Chow Tai Fook will be able to achieve a long-term sustainable growth, enabling them to truly fulfill the Chinese dream. Thank you for your attention.
I missed your financials. Can you go back to your financials a bit and run through that for me? In 1 minute?
Okay, sorry. So this is the start of our financial.
Okay.
So the revenue contribution mainly come from our first and second recommendations. Yes. And that will improve our CAGR from the base case, which we have projected from the historic growth of 27%, which is the company growth historically. So we base that on a base case. And on top of that, with our recommendations, the company would be able to grow at 35% in the 5 years time frame. Yes.
But have you considered, even though the top line has been increased, but however the bottom line, the profit margin will be decreased tremendously if we shift the top line. Have you considered the profit margin of the program is too low? And
we believe that the net income of the company will also grow as well because...
We'll have to stop there.
Okay.
Time's up. Thank you very much.